Hi movers, we are breaking down Malasana or the Yogi Squat today, which is a great grounding posture that helps to open up our hips. You know, a lot of us hold tension and stress in that area of the body. Sorry about the thunder, it is monsoon season in Sri Lanka right now. A lot of us hold tension and stress in our hips, energetically, emotionally, physically, because we sit around all day working on the computers, looking at our phones, and just from a lack of mobility. So I'm going to give you some variations and some modifications today, and also towards the end give you a nice strengthening exercise for the glutes and the hips and the thighs. So let's get started in a standing position. Okay, I want you to stand a little bit wider than your hip distance, and then turn the heels in and the toes out. Now, just establishing ourselves in this position, I want you to notice the external rotation from your hip joints, okay? So as we start to bend the knees into this posture, I want you to focus on keeping the external rotation from the origin of your hips. Meaning, when you start to bend, we don't want the external rotation of the feet to be wider than the hips, because then the knees will start to knock in. And just notice this position, okay, which is really a lot of pressure on your knees and your ankles. So let's start to bend down now. Keep a nice long spine. Start to bend the knees, keeping the knees in line with the toes. When you reach the bottom, you can just find contact with the floor and just rock a little bit side to side. I like to do this to just warm up my hips before holding the stretch. So just rocking side to side, and then coming into a moment of stillness. Now, option number one is to leave the heels all the way down to the mat, okay? That might not be accessible for you, and that's perfectly fine. You can raise up on the heels. If you need a little more support, you can also place a block underneath you, or perhaps a rolled blanket underneath the heels, or you can take 2 blocks underneath the heels, whatever works for you. If you can't go down quite as far, feel free to just stay maybe halfway in more of a goddess pose to start opening up the hips, okay? But coming down into full Malasana, find your variation and bring the hands to heart center. Now, as you plant yourself here, really root down through all 4 corners of the feet, pressing the palms together. Use the elbows to help open up the knees. Sit nice and tall, draw the belly in to support the spine, to support the back. And lengthening through the back of the neck. We keep reaching the crown of the head towards the sky. Just absorbing the sound of the rain, the thunder, not allowing that to halt your practice. Take a few breaths here. Keep the breath steady. A lot of times when we come into these positions where it might be a little difficult, you're feeling some tension, our breath becomes very shallow. So keep the breaths nice and steady. Keep sitting tall. Okay, we're going to go into a few variations. So the first variation will be to interlace the fingertips behind the head and draw the chin down towards the chest. Feeling that opening through the back of the neck. Don't allow those knees to start to rock in. Keep the external rotation. Keep the tailbone drawing down. Draw the belly in. All right, variation number 2, we're going to take a little twist. So let's take the right hand out to the right side, just a little bit in front of you, perhaps connecting the tricep to that inner knee. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, twisting that left arm up to the sky. You can wrap it behind the back. You can leave it up. Inhale, come back to center, sit tall. And exhale, left hand comes down. Just tent up onto the fingertips here. Take a breath in. Exhale, twist that right arm up. Nice release for the spine. Inhale, come back to center. Okay, if you're like me and you just need a little break, go ahead and just stretch out the legs. We've been holding that for some time. Okay, last variation, come into a standing position. We're gonna do some bending and straightening in your Malasana pose to strengthen the glutes and the quads, and it's also great for the core, all right? So bringing the hands to heart center, we're gonna start to lower, okay? So take an exhale all the way down to your Malasana, and then inhale, we're gonna lift it up. So we're gonna do that 5 times. Exhale, inhale, lift up, exhale, inhale. We've got 2 more. Exhale, inhale. Last one, exhale. On this next inhale, rise all the way up. Come up onto the tippy toes, so grounding through the balls of the feet. Try to lift those heels. Try to hold here for 3, for 2, and for 1. Good job. Lower all the way back down. Plant the hands, and let's finish here in child's pose. So make your way into Balasana. We'll take the knees together, walking the arms all the way out. Let's surrender the forehead all the way down to the mat. Taking some deep breaths. I want you to notice any changes in your hip joints. Notice any changes in the breath in the body. And staying here in this place of rest for as long as it serves you. Great job with your Malasana. Namaste.